to know that what is IELTS. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful, all the blessings to be Allah. Today we are going to discuss four basic communication skills of IELTS. As you know that IELTS, International English Language Testing System. To complete the IELTS exam, we have to complete listening, reading, writing and speaking skills. So I am going to discuss listening skill at the very first. That what will be over there in the listening skill and how we will be able to become a successful one in listening skill. As you know that some people say that we do have some tips or tricks or techniques to complete the listening skill. So I say that we do have some specific methodologies to complete this test. In listening skill, listening is an art and we will have to listen it in a proper way. Listening and speaking are correlated. If we are listening, then we are improving our listening skill as well as we are improving speaking skill. So in listening skill there will be different sort of accents. For example, the Britons or Americans or the Australians ones are of different nationalities. We will have to tune the drums of the ears and then we will have to listen that one. We should try to listen from the very first word till the end. As in listening skill, we will be assigned the questions turn to turn. I mean, first of all, we will be assigned 6 questions. Then we will be assigned next 3 or 4 questions. So while listening, we will have to write the answers. During listening, we will have to write the answers. We do have different types in listening skill. I mean, which type of questions will be there in listening skill. There will be multiple choice questions, matching, plan, map, diagram, labeling questions. Then form and note completion questions, summary completion questions, sentence completion questions, short answer questions. We will be assigned 40 minutes to complete this test, 30 minutes for the listening skill. We will be assigned 30 minutes to listen the questions and then we will be assigned 10 minutes to transfer the answers on the answer sheet. So in total we will be assigned 40 minutes. So which type of content we will have to follow in the 4 sections and how we will have to complete that one. In section 1, conversation between 2 people set in everyday social context. Then there's section 2. In section 2, monologue set in everyday social context. Then there's section 3, set in an educational or training context. Then there's the last section, section 4, monologue on an academic subject. So according to my opinion, how we will be able to complete all this context in a proper way and all of the tests in a good way, we should follow the instructions carefully. We should follow the instructions of the trainer and we should follow the instructions given in the beginning of each of the section. We should be careful that what type of instructions are in the beginning of each of the section or in first 6 or the next 4 or 5 questions. We will have to listen in a proper way. We will have to listen like this. it calls listening skill. If we are listening in a proper way. Even as far as this way is concerned, it can help us in speaking skill, in accuracy and fluency, when we will have to speak in English. We have to skim the questions. What is skimming? Skimming means overview, a bird eye view. Then scan the questions over here. And after scanning the questions, we will have to listen. Because we will be assigned 30 to 40 seconds before listening. 6 to 7 questions or 5 to 7 questions like this. So in those 30 to 40 seconds, we will have to scan all of the questions in our brain. And then we will start writing the answers during listening, while listening of the questions. We should write all of the answers of all of the questions. We shouldn't miss or we shouldn't skip any answer. We also will have to check the word limit, that the answer is in 2 words, 3 words or 1 word answer. In short answer questions. For all of the different types of questions, we have the different ways to complete the answers of these different type of questions. I explain all these things maybe in the next video, that how we'll be able to complete. But in this video, I want to show you one of the example, that how it has been completed in a book. So you can see here, IELTS for academic purposes, 6 practice tests. So here's a test number 4. I am going to complete this test as far as the first section is concerned of the test, as an example.
Test 4. You will hear a number of different recordings and you'll have to answer questions on what you hear. There'll be time for you to read the instructions and questions and you'll have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you'll be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You'll hear a student asking for advice on her accommodation. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. You'll see that there is an example which has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
First, can you give me your name and address, please?
Yes, I'm Maria Dominguez.
Maria says her name, so Maria Dominguez has been written in the notes next to name. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning. So, what can I do for you?
Well, it's about the accommodation where I'm staying at the moment.
First, can you give me your name and address, please?
Yes, I'm Maria Dominguez, and the address is 12 Pine Tree Terrace. It's in Westcliff. I'm staying with 2 other students. There's actually 4 of us in the house, us 3 students and the lady who rents the house to us.
So, is there a problem?
Well, there are a few actually. You know, I'm a first-year student, and though I lived away from home for a while when I was studying over the summer in Mexico City, I've never lived abroad, and it's a big change for me. The course is tough, but that's not the main difficulty. I'm coping with that up till now anyway.
The accommodation was arranged for you by our office, wasn't it? It's a nice place by the sea.
Okay, but it's difficult. There are only a few buses, and it takes about 50 minutes. It's just so far away, and there's no way I can get back if I want to stay on after 7. And also the other thing is, there's nothing to do there. It's basically just a village. All my friends stay on campus.
What about the girls you live with? Do you get on with them?
Well, when I see them, but one of them is hardly ever there. Mostly she stays in a house with friends. They've got plenty of extra space, you see. The other girl is quiet as a mouse and hardly ever leaves her room. The landlady's friendly enough, though a bit forgetful, and she doesn't keep the place very clean. I don't have any real problem with her as a person, though.
I understand it's rather far away, so I suppose you'd like us to find you a place in the halls of residence or closer by in the town.
That would be good. You did say in your brochure that most first-year students are offered a place in halls.
I think it actually said final year students have priority there. They need the library facilities more for studying for their finals.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Anyway, let's see what we can do. Just a moment, I'll check what might be free. Sometimes students drop out or move from halls, though we were full at the beginning of term. By the way, have you checked the student notice boards? You know there's one in each of the 4 colleges, don't you? There are often requests for people to share houses, and it can be quite cheap.
No, I hadn't thought of that, but it's a bit of a risk living with complete strangers.
Now, I see there's a room free in Hillside College.
That's the one with the tall tower, right?
That's it. It's the smallest college and has a reputation for being quite fun. Oh, but it's a shared room. Would you consider that?
That's going to be a problem for studying, isn't it? What if she plays music all the time, and maybe we won't have anything in common?
Maria, I see you're studying history. So is this girl, Francesca. She's Italian.
Well, at the moment I'm doing the General Humanities course, which includes history, but actually I'm planning to change to literature quite soon. That's not the thing, though. I really want a room on my own.
Right. I'm afraid I don't see any other openings. There's nothing showing up on the computer, at least on campus.
Well, if I have to stay where I am now, I'm going to find it more and more depressing.
Here's one more thing we can try. The university owns several places on the Thanet Road and also by the West train station. Both of these are about a 20-minute walk down the hill. They're not the newest of buildings, but I could check for you. Can you come back tomorrow? Oh, no, that's Saturday. What about Monday?
Yes, sure. I'd really appreciate it if you could do something for me.
Let's hope so.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
How we will attempt this test, you can focus. And one more thing which I want to let you know, that if you want to complete your IELTS, focus and fully concentration is the key of IELTS. Thank you very much.